DeGents podcast, your home for Maryland sports betting. We are back week 2 of our offseason adventures. We are here for UFC 302. Joining me as always is Jason Money Mansman, and I am Steve Big Bucks of Beta. Money Mansman, this is definitely not the most overhyped card I have ever seen, but I gotta say, it definitely intrigues me. What were your overall thoughts looking towards this card? What are you anticipating here?
It may not be the card that we deserve, but it is the one that we need because it's been a fucking week. I'm just ready to watch people go to sleep.
It's definitely been a week in the Beta household, and this episode, by the way, we will dedicate to the former McCabe, Caitlin, her dog Marley, unfortunately passed away today. So, dedicating this one to the three-legged tripod, aka Marley. So,
damn.
Been a week. But how
old was Marley?
12, 13, something like that.
It's a pretty good life for a dog. But.
It was time, and we're okay. But no, I am most definitely looking forward to Modelo time and knockout time, and watching people go the fuck to sleep, including myself. It'll be a good time.
It's going to be a Grey Goose weekend or a Kettle One weekend. I don't know, whatever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And by the way, we are currently live on our YouTube page, and we are live on x.com/DeGents podcast. Make sure you click a like and follow for each one if you guys like us. If not, it's all right. We're going to give you our picks anyways, because this is what we do here. But before we do that, we got the prelim fights. I know we're going to go over the main card, but we do have to talk about this prelim card because there's a couple juicy money line picks there for the taking. So I'm going to defer to you first. We have like a top 3 situation going on for the prelim card. So I know I got 3 picks that I want to give out. What is your first prelim pick that you want to give out? Is it going to be the Money Mansman special?
This is a little bit of cheating because our boy Andre Lima, $50K bite of the night bonus. Guy who got bit fighting Mitch Raposo. Can't wait to bet Andre Lima, right?
Right.
Nope.
Can't do it.
Fat ass fucking 5 pounds overweight.
Yeah, they're now fighting a catch weight 130. Oh my god.
That hurt me too because I saw fucking Andre Lima and I was like, oh, that's our guy. He got bit in the arm. And then 5 pounds overweight. Come on, man. Like, I got an excuse to be overweight. It's called I'm not a UFC fighter. Come on, man.
My excuse is I work my ass off and I'm doing other shit and too busy, which is an excuse, but that's okay. No. God, I really wanted to bet Andre Lima too. So, but given that fat ass cannot seem to cut 4 pounds, we can move on to the other early prelim card, which is the Ailin Perez and Jocelyn Edwards take. So I wanted to get your take first before I give you my opinion. But who do you think takes this one?
Oh, Jesus. This is really, really tough. I would lean Ailin Perez because I feel like she could get the takedown, and that could be the difference in this fight. I remember like watching Jocelyn Edwards and being like, why? I don't know, man. This is a close fight. I feel like this is going to be a split decision, 29-28 fight. I just think that Ailin Perez's game might be a little more diversified. So I'd lean to her. I think she has the better like record. I think she's fought better opponents, but this is a tough one, really.
None of them have really impressed me one way or another, but like if this to me is like a spread play on DraftKings, I would take Edwards plus the 3.5 minus 165.
I can't argue. I cannot find fault with your reasoning because I think that's actually the right pick. Because I think it's going to be a split decision, to tell you the truth.
No offense. Like, Ailin Perez has had, like, 2 UFC fights against a woman who was 6-6, and Lucy Pudilova, who's 14-9, and both went to decision. This is going to be your snoozer woman's fight. And Jocelyn Edwards, I think this is one where people are going to overlook her. The public too, even 76% of the money going to Perez when it's a fight that I really do. I'm with you. I think this is more 50-50. So, but this is my fade pick minus 165 there.
Here's my game for this one. Not that I'm going to do this, but if I was inclined to do it, Aylin Perez goes for a takedown. If Jocelyn Edwards goes right down on her back, you bet Perez, right? Is it Perez?
Yep.
If Edwards stuffs the takedown, you go Edwards. Because I feel like Edwards is going to have the advantage on the feet, but I don't know if she's going to be able to stop the takedown. And Perez goes for a lot of takedowns. She's a grappler.
That is true. All right. So that was the first fight. Mansman, what's your next?
Okay, here's my real sort of legitimate, what I'm actually going to pick. One of my favorites, Phil Rowe over Jake Matthews. And I think Phil Rowe is a slight underdog. Maybe he was like plus 130-ish.
Plus 136 right now on DraftKings, folks.
Jake Matthews is not that great. Like, if you look at his record, he beat a tomato can.
That's a nice way to put it.
And then he lost his last two. Like, Phil Rowe lost to Neil Magny, who's good. And Phil Rowe actually beat Nico Price. I think he knocked out Nico Price, which is a better win than anybody Jake Matthews has beaten. So the fact that I'm going to get Phil Rowe as an underdog in, again, similar fight, I don't really give an advantage either way in terms of grappling, striking, that sort of thing. When I look at the stats, they're pretty even. But when you look at the record, Jake Matthews beat a tomato can. And the fact that I'm getting Phil Rowe plus money, that's probably my best bet of the prelims. Phil Rowe.
Wow, that's your best bet. It's ironic enough, Phil Rowe was my dog of the prelims, plus 136. So we got a double dog prelim bet already for the distinguished DeGents.
You have a good record with those double dogs.
That we do. But you kind of pinpointed everything that I was going to say. Who the fuck has Jake Matthews really fought that made you go wow, I want to run to the ticket booth. I want to bet on the Celtic Kid. I mean, Matthew Semmelsberger, who, by the way, come to find out, I'm a fan of his. He's from Maryland, Crazy 88. So all respect to him in that. But come to find out, when he lost to Semmelsberger, it was wow, that was a good showing. Semmelsberger might be really good. Come to find out, Semmelsberger might not be that good, and that loss is just looking worse and worse and worse the longer it ages. And I just don't think Matthews has much more of a career in the UFC if he just stays on this losing skid, and I just don't see it happening here with Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe's been looking pretty good too as of late.
Yeah, I'm trying to, don't mind my head, I'm trying to look real quick at who frickin' Phil Rowe, not Phil Rowe, Jake Matthews, his one win in his last three against Darius Flowers. Yep.
Oh, boy.
Flowers ranked 340th in the world. His last loss was to Michael Johnson.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so.
Gotcha.
That's who you're dealing with. Yep. So yeah, I like that. Philip Rowe, fucking double dog to start the card.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I gotta ruin it and probably take a bad pick. But this was actually going to be my best play. Wanted to get your take. He's only 5-0, but I'm going to go ahead and take Cesar Almeida here up against Roman Kapilov. I'm going to take him on the money line, and I'm actually going to bet him on the knockout prop, and I think he could get plus 260, plus 280 right now on DraftKings on that. Kapilov is very susceptible at times. I think he has the wrestling skills to at least get, make this an interesting fight, and even then, though, his wrestling skills are I think they're mediocre. He just got choked out by Anthony Hernandez. He lost to Albert Duraev and Carl Roberson also by rear naked choke. So I think this is going to be on the feet. The problem is, I think if you stay on the feet with the Cesar Almeida, albeit he is only 5-0, I mean, he's knocked out how many dudes in the first round? I could see this being another early first round knockout. I think someone will go night-night if I'm wrong. That's just my personal opinion, but in a split fight where I think Almeida was the dog, now it's closer to even money. I think I'm going to take the right side here and take
Did
Almeida.
Kopylov get chinned the last fight?
No, he got choked out.
Didn't he get chinned and then get choked out? Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Maybe.
This is not one of my favorite plays because a lot of unknowns here. But yeah, I can't fault your reasoning. I can't fault.
And Kopilov's only 4-3 in the UFC, so like, do I want to take a guy that like split record in an even fight, or I could get the guy who's knocked out 4 of his last 5?
Yeah.
Looked really good doing it.
Yeah, I can't. I really can't fault it, to tell you the truth. I don't mind the play. Kopylov scares me, but you could be right.
Gotcha. All right, and that I think is 2 each at this point. So we're on to the third for our prelim special.
No, I actually have to give my real second play. My real second play. I'm not. The Mansman special this week is going to be laughing at Fatty. No, my second play is going to be, and I hate to do it because the money lines are it's a big money line play, but I'm going to go with Basile Hafez over the ghost of Mickey Gall.
Ooh, yeah.
Just Mickey Gall, like, bro, you shouldn't even be in the UFC anymore. Like, my dude is, what is he, like 1-4 in his last 5, maybe? Like, Mickey Gall is not good.
Mickey Gall is 7-5, 1-4 in his last 5 appearances.
Yeah,
he was cut from the UFC, I think, all but 2 or 3 years ago, and now you're getting a guy who, let's be honest, like, this is like the Chase Sherman argument all over again, where you're just like, why is this guy still here? Why is this guy returning? Like, this guy just does not belong at this level of competition, and it's sad, but it's just the truth.
It's bad, too. The guy he's fighting is like a grappler, primarily a sub guy, or just gonna... I mean, I could see this being a really boring fight where Ghoul just gets taken down and survives for 3 rounds with nothing happening. Like, Ghoul, if you look at it, Ghoul's takedown defense, 36%. And the guy he's fighting gets like 3 takedowns a fight on average. So it's just not a... I mean, it's already... He sucks, like, but this is Mickey Gall.
It's another level. And it's not like he's, it's not like he's fighting a complete tomato can either in his return. He's getting somebody, like, probably better than his level at this point in his career in Basile Hafez.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Hafez is great, but better than Ghoul.
But I will say this. He went the distance with Jack Della Maddalena.
Yeah, it is true. That's true.
In his debut. Before that, the guy was known as essentially almost as a killer.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
And he'll probably put fucking Ghoul to sleep.
He was from Fury. That's right. That was his UFC debut. Again, and it was a split decision loss against JDM. So not nothing to discount.
It didn't age that badly, that's for sure. Yeah.
For sure. 4-2 in his last 6. I think he could pull this off. I think you owe one more. We both went Phil Rowe.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess I got to go. The last one that I'm going to go with, Jalton Almeida against Alexander Romanov. Give me Jalton Almeida.
Wow.
Coming off the loss, but he got knocked out by Curtis Blades. Like, I still think Razor Blades is pretty good, and I think he's fought a better level of competition than Romanov. I guess it's a little dangerous because you're paying a premium for Almeida at like basically minus 300. But I think Almeida's the better fighter. I think he's fought the better competition, and I think he gets it done. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Romanov is only 17-2. He's 17-2. He's never lost by submission, which is my one concern here. That's actually why it wasn't one of my top picks. Because if you really think about it, like, Jalton Almeida is like one of the best grapplers in the heavyweight division in the UFC right now. but he kind of just has the same moves over and over again. He doesn't really switch it up all that much. And I'm just concerned that like an Alexander Romanov could catch him, and this could just be a bad night, just to cap it off before the pay-per-view starts. It could just be bad news bears. But kind of like what I do like the argument you said too. He didn't lose to a nobody. The guy lost to Curtis Razor Blades.
Yeah. And my concern is that like this could be a situation where again. My fear is that you could have a situation where like it's just a grappling match because Romanov grapples a lot too. And I just think like Almeida is going to be the better quality of that. So I take Almeida's grappling over Romanov's.
Yeah, oddly enough, too, Alexander Romanov apparently fights out of Finksburg, Maryland, according to Tapology.
Man, now I got to root for him.
Yeah, I don't know if I will. I'm not gonna lie,
He's a fucking neighbor of ours, Carol.
Yeah, I know. Literally lives 20 minutes away from you, evidently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the argument still remains like Alan Almeida. Like, he lost a fight against like arguably top 15 guy. Now all of a sudden we want to discount him, and I think the public seems to be on your side too. A lot of money going towards him. So I can't fault the logic.
That doesn't make me feel that good.
Well, he's a big favorite. So, I mean, how many people are throwing him into bullshit parlays? Like,
I mean, you can only have your – I need Vanessa Demopoulos to fight on every card because every time she fights, she wins a close decision as like a 3-1 underdog, and I make money.
I will say, like, if you want a fun prop, Yalton Almeida to win by decision. If you really think it's going to be a grapple fest and, somebody's not going to get caught, 3.5 to 1 compared to the minus 325 on the money line.
I was almost thinking like Almeida by either – well, no, I probably wouldn't make that much. I was thinking either maybe by like decision or sub because I don't know.
Oh, the double chance?
Oh, yeah. I don't. Maybe that's like, what's the double chance? Is that about even money? Minus
135.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to end up going with. Okay.
It's better than, and that's better than the minus 3.5 you would get on the spread.
I don't think, I mean, he could. I get he has pop. I just don't think that's the way he wins this fight. I don't think he's going to knock him out. So.
No, I'm with you there. Yeah, like I think it's weird. Like Romanov, I don't know what the path to victory is going to be, other than like you just have to outgruel him for 15 minutes. That's why I would lean decision on that one. But no, we got the we're gonna laugh at the Mansman special. One of my best plays was the Big Buck special, the main event on the prelim card. We're both on. We both took God, what the hell? Who the hell was it?
Philip Rowe.
We both took Phil Rowe. Thank you for that. And then for the women's fight, the first women's fight on the card, we did take that on the plus 3.5.
Okay. Who's your third, or did you give your 3?
My second one was Phil Rowe.
Oh, okay. All right. You gave your 3. Oh, good. We're done with the
Jocelyn Edwards. It was Jocelyn Edwards plus 3.5. Phil Rowe on the money line. And then for the Big Buck special, I wanted Cesar Almeida on the money line, which you can get right now on DraftKings at an even 6 to 1 if you parlay all 3. So we'll take that to the bank, folks. With that said, I think we're ready. We got to get into this UFC 302 main card.
I got to say, the prelims are like hit or miss, but I think this could be a pretty decent. I'm not going to say it's the best card ever. It's just been a while since it's been a while, I feel like, since fucking UFC pay-per-view. I don't know why. It's
because the last one we watched was UFC 300, and then when 301 came out, the card was so underwhelming that it wasn't worth our attention. We didn't even handicap that one because it was just like time for the offseason. We need to take the break again. And then this one, it's like the matchups, it's not like the marquee big name fights necessarily, but it's the ones that you're like, if you're a real UFC fan, and you're not a casual, these are the fights that you're like, okay, I could really get down with these matchups.
Yeah.
Each one on their own could be a main event on a fight night.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think the last 3 fights are pretty good. Like, I think they're pretty fucking good.
I think this whole card has a lot of potential here. I think this is going to be.
Yeah. And I want to drink.
I'm not going to say this will be 300, but this is the kind of fight you get the bottle of Grey Goose, you get the 30-pack of Modelo's, and you just rage. This is your rage.
I have a feeling that, like, these fights are going to be close. Like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah,
let's see why.
Let's get into the main card.
Main card, 10 o'clock Eastern time on the East Coast, even though I've said that twice. It is UFC 302 live in Atlanta. I think is it Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah, Newark.
It's Newark at the Prudential Center. UFC 302 kicking it off. It is Randy Rude Boy Brown in a welterweight fight going up against Elizo Zaleski dos Santos, aka Capoeira. Welterweight fight. Capoeira is 24-7-1. Rude Boy 18-5. He's the favorite, -180. Capoeira at a +150 right now on DraftKings. Both fighters have positive UFC records. Rude Boy is 12-5. Dos Santos 10-3-1. It's an over/under 2.5 fight on the over/unders if you play those here. Randy Brown, he's 6-1 since 2021. Elizo dos Santos, he is 3-1 since 2020. Coming off the last fight, Capoeira had a draw against Renat Fakhretdinov, and Randy Brown knocked out Muslim Salikov in the first round in his last bout. And if you look at the odds trends, Randy Brown, he's got 6 straight wins as a betting favorite. Elizo, 5-2-1 as plus money in the UFC. Monty Mansman, I'll defer to you here to start it off. Who are you going with here in this welterweight fight?
Yeah, see, this was a close one because I both guys, you look at their numbers, they probably both want to stand and bang, and both pretty good fighters. I give the edge to Brown for the physicals. Think he's 6'3". The guy he's fighting, whose name I will not be able to pronounce, is only 5'11", and there's a 5-inch reach advantage. It's tough. Brown also fought JDM, but he lost. So
fairly quickly too.
This I feel like is going to be a good fight, but a close fight, which is not the ones I want to bet. But I think Brown, just with the physical advantages, if he plays his cards right in what I think is going to be predominantly like a stand-up type fight, I think if he could use the distance, he'll get the victory because he does have the physical edge on Santos.
Concur with your pick here. I'm also picking Randy Brown. It is a slight edge because I think if you look at this on paper, you really do want to lean towards Elizo dos Santos. Dos Santos has wins over Benoit Saint Denis. He has wins over Sean Strickland. He has wins over Max Griffin. There was one other name I saw in there that really stuck out. Abubakar Nurmagomedov was another one. But you have to look at this guy lately. He's had a lot, like you mentioned, close fights as the theme. That is the literal definition of this guy. It is just close fight after close fight. Last fight was a draw. The fight before against Nurmagomedov was a split decision. He got a decision win against Benoit Saint Denis. He lost a split against Muslim Salikov. Like, this guy not only likes to go the distance, he doesn't really like to stand and bang. Randy Brown, you know he's going to go for that finish. I think he has the physicals. I think he's going to be able to control the ring much better. I would love to play the bet to get Randy Brown by knockout. I don't know if I see that happening, though. I think at -180 it is okay, but wish it was a little better. But
I'm going to take a quick look at I want to see if Santos, has he been Let's see. He has.
Dos Santos has been finished once by knockout, twice by submission.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, okay. So, not really a big history of knockouts there. So, yeah. I don't know.
He got
the knockout, though.
He got knocked out by Jinglang Li back in 2019.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Been a while, though.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And it's weird. Like, he has wins against quality people, but the quality of the fights that he has lately are very questionable to me. As far as whether I think he can even go the distance with Randy Brown. Could be wrong, but I think Randy Brown is the smarter play here. I think it's the sharp play.
Yeah. No, I could agree with that.
Gotcha. Moving on up, we got another welterweight bout. It's Nico Price. That's right. The return of the guy who gave Robbie Lawler his flowers and his head. He's coming in as a 215 underdog right now on DraftKings. He's going up against Alex Morono. Morono is 24-9, 1 no contest. Nico, the hybrid price, 15-7, 2 no contest. He's now a plus 210, excuse me. Morono minus 258. Nico Price, another guy I'm wondering why the hell he's still around the UFC. He's 7-7, 2 no contest.
He's fun.
Sure, he's fun. Yeah, he's fun. He's a fun 1-4, 1 no contest since 2020. As I mentioned, he got knocked out in 39 seconds by Robbie Lawler, and he's 1-3 as an underdog in his last 4. He's lost 3 straight. The Great White Morono, he's 13-6, 1 no contest in the UFC, 7-4 since 2020. In those 11 fights, 7 went to decision. He went 5-2 in those bouts. Last fight was a decision win against Court McGee. 5 straight wins as a betting favorite. This is actually Price versus Morono 2. The first fight back in 2017, Nico Price actually knocked out Morono, but he failed a drug test for marijuana, and the bout was overturned by the Texas Athletic Commission.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize that. I didn't go that far back.
I didn't intend to, but it was something I discovered. It's actually on Tapology if you're that interested. But let's not fucking kid ourselves. One guy is trending in the right direction. The other guy got his head caved in by Robbie Lawler and sacrificed himself. Yeah, let's make that clear. It wasn't like the Robbie Lawler of old. It was the ghost of Robbie Lawler. The one that people were saying he shouldn't have even taken the fight because he was on his way out anyways. And they were afraid he was going to get knocked out, and turns out it was the other way around.
Can Robbie Lawler have one more fight against Mickey Gall? Because I feel like Robbie can win that one too.
Yeah. Nico Price does have the reach advantage. He does have the height advantage, 6'0 to 5'11". Leg reach 42.5 to 39. So that is the one thing. Morono is a smaller guy. I can't get behind betting on a Nico Price. The guy, I thought he would have been cut. Honestly, after that Robbie Lawler fight, but maybe that was Dana's parting gift to him, which was, I'll give you one more to sacrifice yourself. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't get behind Nico Price. It just seems so wrong.
I'm not getting in his way. I'm not going to get in his way because Morono, that Buckley performance, I remember I bet him against Buckley, and Buckley literally caved the shit out of him. And I had thought Morono was better, and he got caved by Buckley. So I'm not going to get in the way of Nico Price, but yeah, it would be Morono or nothing for me because Morono's just fought better people. He's beaten more quality people. Nico Price, why is he in the UFC? Because he has fun fights. He's a fun fighter. He's not a good fighter. He's not good. So that's kind of the story of this fight. I agree with
that. He's no good. The only thing I'll say too is when it comes to Alex Morono, he has fought better fighters. He's the kind of gatekeeper type where if you want to make top 15, you have to beat Alex Morono. It just seems like whenever Alex Morono tries to make the leap into the top 15, he either chokes or he just gets his ass caved in by like a Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, that Buckley loss was really big.
Yeah, but I'm also looking back here. He lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio back in 2022. He got knocked out by him.
That loss.
After that, he beat Matthew Semmelsberger. He took Mickey Gall to decision. He knocked out Donald Cerrone. Like that's who Alex Morono is. Like he could beat the regular guys, but when it comes to like the real contenders, he just seems to not be able to step up. I don't see Nico Price as a real contender anytime soon, at least at this point in his career. So
our boy Phil Rowe knocked him out. In
yeah. In that case, it's got to be Morono or nothing here.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Moving on quickly here, folks. All right, we are on to our middleweight bout. God damn it! It is the ghost and the return of Kevin Holland, the trailblazer. I don't know what he's trailblazing out here in the UFC, but this guy is the 15th ranked middleweight right now in the UFC. 25-11, coming off a loss against Michael Venom Page, but he's coming in as a minus 290 favorite up against Michael Husar Oleksiejczuk, who is 19-7, won no contest, a 235 underdog. UFC record, he is 7-5, won no contest. Trailblazer is 12-8 with won no contest. Over under set at 1.5. Also for Price and Morono, that was also set at 1.5. Trailblazer in his last 11 since 2021 has gone 4-6 and won no contest. Michael Oleksiejczuk 5-3. Both are coming off of losses, like I mentioned, but Oleksiejczuk got submitted by Michael Pereira in the first round in his last go-around. Betting trends, Oleksiejczuk, he's lost 3 straight as an underdog. He's actually 1-3 with won no contest in his career. Trailblazer, 13-4 as a betting favorite. He did lose the last time around against Michael Venom Page. Mansman, who would you... I don't like getting behind either of these fighters personally. You know how I feel about Kevin Holland. And my general go-to here, folks, if you've ever seen these episodes, betting on Kevin Holland is a good way to burn money. Parlaying Kevin Holland on anything is a great way to ruin your parlay.
Yeah, minus 300, that's for damn sure.
And especially at minus 290. But I'm making an exception here, folks. This is actually going to be...
Oh, no.
No, it's not. I'm fucking...
No.
No, this is not my best bet. But I do have a play here. And you got to hear me out. My play here, this is Kevin Holland by submission.
Yeah, that's the way to look, right? If you like Holland, yeah.
I think so. And here's why. I think if this is going to be another stand and bang fight, this is going to go to decision. It might even go to split decision again. We've seen enough of Kevin Holland doing that. There's one thing Michael Oleksiejczuk struggles at, and we've seen it time and time again. He struggles at, and that's the ground game and the wrestling. And if you remember, Kevin Holland actually choked out Michael Chiesa. Yeah. And he's actually had a bunch of submissions under his belt in his career.
He got 8 sub wins.
8 subs.
Realized before looking at it.
Yeah, no, Kevin Holland, very underrated grappler. You kind of get overthrown when you remember he fought Khamzat Chimaev and how he got thrown around like a rag doll. But I think the way you really need to look at that is like that's how good Chimaev is. Kevin Holland, though, he is not a scrub when it comes to wrestling. He also went the distance with JDM as well. He tapped out Michael Chiesa, knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio. So, like, we know he can stand and make. Like, his last real bad loss was that Stephen Thompson fight where he just got gassed after the 4th round and just couldn't get off the stool. Besides that, though, I mean, he submitted Tim Means as well. And I just don't know if this is going to be a fight that I think Oleksiejczuk can keep up with. And I just don't see Oleksiejczuk getting knocked out either. So, with that said, he got submitted by Pereira in a minute in the first round in his last fight. I can see something similar happening again. So, Kevin Holland by submission, plus 240 right now in FanDuel. That's my play.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it. I'd be tempted to take Olichik or whatever his name is. I'm really tempted to sort of flick a chip
Paul
off
Sedgwick.
old Sheswick.
Yeah,
But
something
God,
like that.
you just feel like the type of fighter that Kevin Holland beats. Like he's the ultimate gatekeeper, and he's in the top 15 because he beats guys like this. He goes,
Yep.
he gets a submission, he gets a fight of the night bonus. Like how many times have we seen this shit with him?
Too many times.
I think like you, he's probably going to get a submission win. He's going to have an entertaining fight. He's going to get a 50K bonus.
Yeah, I think this is.
Go with a Schwidwick or whatever, but
That's the thing. Like, if you're gonna bet this at a finish. Don't like bet the under 2 and I think it's under or it's under 1.5. I would bet the under 1.5 here too, folks. Like I don't see this one. I really don't see this one lasting long, for one reason or another. Like the only way the over hits, like if you like the over, I would go and bet the decision, and I still wouldn't bet Ola Sedgwick to do it. I would bet Kevin Holland.
I will say neither of these fighters. I mean, the majority of their wins are by like decision, by finish. So
Yeah,
that's not the worst play either.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at your double chances. You know, I think DraftKings does let you parlay like the type of finish in the over/under or the fighter in the. You could try it that way too, but for me, it's like you have to look at the path of victory here, and I just think Michael Oleg Sedgwick. I'll try not to say that again and fuck it up, but I think the path to victory is simple. You exploit the guy's weakness. This is a Kevin Holland by submission win written all over it. And I think it's gotten to the point for me where like I can only fade the guy so much before there comes a point where it's like, am I just going to fade him every time regardless? Am I just going to put Kevin Holland on auto fade? And no offense, I don't think after watching that Michael Venom Page fight, I think certain people could have made the argument that he should have won that. I wasn't one of them, but I also didn't expect him to be that competitive with him. And I don't know what to make of that yet. So I think this is just the type of fight, like you said. This is the type of fight he gets a fight of the night performance. He gets a victory.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
All right, moving on to our co-main event. We are going up into the middleweight once again. It is the number 1 ranked middleweight fighter, Sean Strickland, a.k.a. Tarzan. I don't know anyone who calls him that, but that's his nickname. Going up against Paulo Borrachino, Secret Juice, Costa.
Yeah, he's on that Secret Juice, that's for sure.
All right, here we go. Let's run the numbers down. Costa is the number 7 ranked middleweight. He's 14-3. Tarzan Strickland, 28-6. He's the minus 258 favorite here. Borrachino, plus 210. 6-3 in his UFC career. Strickland, 15-6. Over-under is set at 4.5 rounds. Paulo Costa's 4 of last 5 have ended by decision. He went 2-2 in that. Sean Strickland, 7 of his last 9 have ended by decision. He went 5-2 since 2021. Both of them coming off of decision losses against really tough middleweight fighters. Costa lost to Whitaker. Strickland lost his championship to Dricus du Plessis. An argument could be made winner of this fight gets the championship fight against Dricus. We'll see what happens. As far as betting trends go,
that was a close fight, du Plessis and Strickland.
Yeah, very close. Very close fight with Whitaker and Costa, too, in my opinion. Very close. Costa 1-2 as a UFC underdog. Sean Strickland 10-4 as a betting favorite in the UFC. That includes minus 110 splits, though, so keep that in mind. And the one piece of news I will also bring up, it appears Paulo Costa did have a staph infection in his press photo. There's a lot of talk and rumors going around saying that it might be affecting him come fight time. I don't know how much to make of that, but
he supposedly came out for weigh-ins late too, something like that.
Yeah, so not a good look for Costa based on that. But with that said, I don't think Strickland is the easy play here. Mansman, where are you at on this one?
Yeah, this is probably. I mean, the odds play a part of it because I have an opinion about the main event. Um,
Oh boy.
Strickland's probably my favorite play. Just I I just feel like he has more weapons than Costa. Like I don't know. I feel like he's more well rounded. We know what Strickland's game is. I think he's just going to fight, especially too with these guys having gone to decision so many times. I just envision Strickland fighting the smarter fight, having better defense, taking less damage, doing more damage of his own. Like these guys are both decision fighters, and if Costa wasn't going to decision all the time, maybe I would think, well, does Strickland get caught with a punch? Does he get his jaw broken? But in this iteration of these two fighters that are constantly going to decision, I like Strickland in a point battle more than I like Costa. I like his cardio more. I like his fight IQ more. I like his defense more. So, with that, considering the fact that they're both going to basically fight the same way, I just think Strickland does it better. So that's why I think he's probably my favorite play. I'm not going to say my best play because there's a lot of like big favorites, but I'm going to say my favorite play.
So this is actually my this was going to be my fade of the card. I was actually looking to fade Sean Strickland here, and I was actually going to take Paulo Acosta, believe it or not. But between the staph infection, the way Strickland's looking lately, the fact that Costa really hasn't been as much of a consistent fighter like Strickland, like the only play for me, and I'm not even that confident in it, that I'm probably only going to lay a unit, maybe two, depending on how I feel closer to fight time. It's Paulo Costa plus 5.5, plus 105 right now. The reason being is the reasons you like Strickland, the opposite reasons are why I like Costa here. Sean Strickland has a very weird Philly shell type defense that really is kind of, it's meant to be like hard to counter against. But Costa has never been one to like deal with the counter strike as often. If anything, he's the one that's always pressed and attacking. And Sean Strickland's usually the guy that's just going to sit back and wait and let the guy come to him. And I think that the last time we saw that, it was Alex Pereira, and we saw what the fuck happened. Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whitaker, kind of has a very similar stance, which is he's not the one that necessarily wants to take the charge. He's the one that's going to take his time. He's going to play his opponent out. And he almost took a spinning heel kick and went night-night. And I could just see the same thing happening here for Sean Strickland if he doesn't play his cards right. I think if he tries to play too defensive and just takes his time, he's going to get caught. And Paulo Costa is one of the fastest leg kickers in the UFC, especially at the middleweight division. The speed at which Costa can throw, it is very, very scary, I think, if you're Sean Strickland. And I think a lot of people are kind of counting Costa out for the fact that he's lost a lot of his fights lately. And especially with that fucking Marvin Vettori incident where he just came in fat as fuck and didn't care. You could kind of tell.
Yeah.
He kind of won me over with the Robert Whitaker fight, though. It seems like he's had a change of mind. He's taking things more seriously, even though he is a troll. But
He
at least
lost the unanimous decision, though. But
he did. But there were moments that, like, you looked at the way he fought, and it was like, wow.
If I remember correctly, he had that one spinning heel kick and then literally got abused the rest of them. I didn't think it was as close as you did.
I thought it was closer than. I mean, the numbers won't tell you that. I mean, Robert Whitaker did outbox him. Don't get me wrong.
Basically, to me, what I remember it was Whitaker beating his ass for 3 rounds, and he had one heel kick.
I thought the heel kick.
I think 2 judges gave it 30-27. Was I wrong about that?
You might be right.
Gave it 30-27.
Okay. So, like I said, like, I just think for Sean Strickland, like, against a guy who's more aggressive, I'm concerned. And I think this is a fight where, like you said, if this is going to go to decision and this is going to be a tough, skilled matchup. Like 5.5 points on top of that. I don't need him to win, but I think this could be a fight where it could be a split decision if it does get close. I don't see Sean Strickland outboxing Costa like Robert Whittaker did.
You know what I need to happen? And you're going to love this. What I need to have happen? Sean Strickland wins and then goes on an epic rant about my president was wrongfully convicted. Free Donald Trump. And he goes fucking nuts.
Oh, my God.
Yo, can we get a Donald Trump sighting in New Jersey? I know he's a big... Can we please get that? I want to hear it. Lock him up. Lock it. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. That would be... This pay-per-view is going to be unhinged. And especially if Strickland does win.
Night dipshit if that happens. If they do that, I might go night-night.
All right. Speaking of night-night dipshit, it's time for the main event fight of UFC 302. It is the lightweight champion Islam Makhachev going up against the number 4 ranked lightweight, the one and only Dustin the Diamond Poirier. 30-8, 1 no contest, a plus 470 underdog up against the champion. The champ is minus 650. He's 14-1 in the UFC. Dustin Poirier, 22-7, 1 no contest. Over-under is set at 2.5. Poirier has 6 straight, ending by finish under 2.5. Makhachev has finishes in 6 of his last 7 fights. Let's see, did I mess this up? Both of them are coming off knockout wins. Poirier knocked out Benoit Saint Denis. It was more of a ground and pound, though. And Makhachev knocked the hell out of Alexander Volkanovski in the first round in his last fight. This is the first fight for a true championship defense for Islam Makhachev since Charles Oliveira. He has not defended the belt against any other lightweight opponent.
Yeah, that's tough, though, because the guy he defended, the guy who literally he fought twice, was pound for pound top 10, like top 5.
Yeah, top 3. Top 3, let's be honest. All right, so Dustin the Diamond Poirier, he is 6-2 as a UFC underdog, and Islam Makhachev, he's actually always been a UFC favorite. He's never not been a favorite. Apparently, he also has a staph infection, according to the press that I've been seeing. And they're wondering if that could be a factor. They're also saying the Paulo Costa curse could be in effect here, where every time Paulo Costa's on a card, the champion loses his belt. They're also saying the over 35 rule with Dustin Poirier. This, I'll take like shit that doesn't matter for 1,000, Alex. Like, think of it this way. You're getting a Dustin Poirier who was losing that Benoit Saint Denis fight. Like, let's not fool ourselves. He was losing.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
He was losing. He kept trying to jump the ghillie, a.k.a. try to get a guillotine. It wasn't working. His coaches even told him, stop doing it. And he said, fuck it. I'm doing it anyways. And then it happened to work the 6th time because Benoit Saint Denis just evidently doesn't learn.
Stupid Frenchie.
And, okay, so take that into consideration. Let's even take into effect the staph infection that supposedly he has. He still made weight. He looks fine to me. Hasn't lost a fight in how many years?
Been a while.
Dustin Poirier is going to come out to like one of the most epic walkouts of all time, apparently. And he's still damn near a 5-1 underdog. But no, let's stop the presses. Let's get every gambling and MMA fucking guru on fucking social media. Dustin Poirier by Gilly. Take all my money, folks.
Yeah, but good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, can we pause here and like let's just be real with ourselves? Like, really, we're gonna go run to the book and take Poirier to beat Islam by submission. Like, say that out loud. Say it out loud in front of a crowd. Then I want you to call Dagestan and say that out loud to them.
Bro, if you come if you come over for the fights tomorrow, I may put a hole in the wall again.
I don't. What the fuck are we thinking, folks?
If he jumps to Gilly, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I'm not gonna break anything, but I'm gonna look. Here's what happens if he gets a Gilly, goes for a guillotine. Makhachev's going to dump him on his ass, patiently take 45 seconds to get out of it, and then obliterate the shit out of fucking Poirier. That's
that's the only way.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? Like, he's gonna be hype walk out, the crowd's gonna be behind him, fuck Russia, and then he's going to go to a combination.
Donnie T will be in the audience. He'll be saying "fuck Russia" too, except he chugs on Russia's cock, So, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, the 34-time felon, 34-time felon champ, be in attendance. 34. And then what's gonna happen is fucking Dustin Poirier is gonna get dumped on his ass. And it might not even be exciting. Like, I could just see Makhachev fucking laying on top of him for 5 rounds and caving his face in. Like, I could see it.
Yeah, I could too.
Probably just submit him. Like, I don't know. Does Poirier have good submission defense?
Not really. Ask Charles Oliveira. I mean,
so I think it's just a matter of time where, maybe Poirier will get a shot in, the crowd will go hype, and then Makhachev's going to do what the fucking Dagestani fucking Russians do, and he's going to plant them on his ass, and then there's going to be no more Poirier.
Yeah, I mean, Dustin Poirier he's beaten 2 people since 2021. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, who ironically enough are fighting on the next pay-per-view after this. But the guy lost by submission to Charles Oliveira. He lost and got knocked out by Justin Gaethje. And then he fucking got the bullshit win against Benoit Saint Denis.
Yeah, and got a title shot because I forgot the person they wanted to have a title shot wasn't available to fight or something. Right?
I forget who it was too, but yeah, but again, it's whatever. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is this random public fandom for Dustin Poirier all of a sudden that we're all going to back Poirier. This could be his final fight. No offense, his final fight probably should have been after Conor McGregor 3 because he really wasn't going to get anything significant after that, you would think. And it's
yeah,
Michael Chandler, okay. And Justin, we're getting good fights from him. I should be real. We're getting good fights. But the guy's old. He probably should have retired at the highest mountain he could have. He then got blasted by Gaethje, and now we're giving the guy a title shot. Now we're going to say he's going to jump the Gilly and get Makhachev. And why? Because Paulo Acosta's because he's on the card, that just means he's going to win. You hear the logic of some of these folks, and it's out of my god. It drives me out of my goddamn mind.
I'm sorry, whoever said that Dustin Poirier by guillotine, that would be the stupid. First off, I don't even think Makhachev would get caught with something that stupid because he's such a good wrestler. Why do you even? He's not even going to let himself be put in that position. But if he jumps the guillotine against this guy, if anything, Poirier is going to be trying desperately to stay on his feet. And no offense, Poirier doesn't have the greatest takedown defense either.
No.
He's gotten ragdolled before. We've seen that. So, yeah, I don't like this. No.
Yeah, I don't get. Poirier's lost 3 times by submission, so not as much as I would thought.
Oh, well,
But wait, hang on. The second guy who submitted him, Khabib Nurmagomedov, is going to be in the corner for Islam Makhachev. You think they're going to lose?
Yeah. How long did that take? What round?
First, I think.
Oh shit! This could be a
third round. Third round. Third round.
Okay, we'll at least get a 15-minute fucking main event. Okay.
Yeah. No, I just don't see. I don't know where the Poirier love's coming. It drives me nuts. I'm not backing it. I'm not going to be a Barney and just be like Dustin by Gilly. If anything, I would take Islam by Gilly. I could see the only way I could see Islam getting caught is that he just wants Dustin to think he's going to get the win and just tire him out, and then he's just going to ground and pound the shit out of him. Like,
well, that's the problem too, because it's like his wrestling, I feel like, is good enough where, or no, his stand-up's good enough where I don't even know if he's really going to get caught. Like, bro, he fought fucking like Volk.
And you know what the funny thing is? I'm glad you mentioned that. The funny thing is, you try and stand and bang with Islam, he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski. He made it look pretty fucking easy, too. It wasn't even like it was...
I mean, I know there's like a weight difference there, but I just feel like a lighter Volk would come to 155 and dust off Poirier.
Oh, hold on. You know who else Islam knocked out? Bobby Green. You know who else he knocked out? Gleison Tibet. That's about it. The rest of it was decisions or submissions. But, like, here's the thing with Islam, and this is the game plan you have to know with him. Can I stand and bang with this guy? Yes, I'm going to fuck you up. No, I'm going to take you to the ground and I'm going to choke you out. If I can't do that, well, I'm just going to win the rounds. I'm going to kill the minutes. Yeah. Dustin Poirier, I think, is only going to be able to last so long in the ring with this guy, and especially at his age.
Yeah. I think Makhachev's striking is good enough where it's like he's going to do enough, and then Poirier's going to overcommit, and down he goes. And I just don't think his takedown defense is good enough. Like,
no.
And then once he goes down, he's not dangerous off his back. His sole game is a guillotine. And no offense, you're trying to guillotine like a Dagestani wrestler.
I don't see that happening.
It's kind of a basic move for watch. He'll get the guillotine and I'll be so pissed. Oh my God. Maybe I'll fucking punch that tree again.
Oh boy. All right. Well, that is all 5 main event fights. We also gave out our 3 prelim best bets. We'll go over the main card one last time for those of you who missed it or want to recap. Here we go. We both were on Randy Brown to beat Elizo Zaleski dos Santos. We both are on Alex the Great White Morono to beat Nico Price. We're both leaning towards Kevin Holland. I think I'm more strong than Mansman is, but TBD. We are both split with Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa, but I'm taking Costa plus 5.5. And we are both on the champion Islam Makhachev to retain his lightweight championship. Mansman, did I get anything wrong? Did I miss any bets?
No, I think you got it. Before we go, I want to end with some interesting UFC news. Did you hear about the UFC? They're signing this gold medal Olympic wrestler, Gable Steveson.
Oh, the Bills. The Bills are signing him.
No, the UFC signing him. Now, he's never fought mixed martial arts before. He's just a wrestler who won a gold medal. He has no experience with UFC, and they're signing him to a 3-year deal.
Are you sure?
Steve, no, Steve, you're right. It's not the UFC. It's the Buffalo fucking Bills. They're signing him to play defensive line. He's never played a down of football in his life. But Taliban Sean, Al-Qaeda McDermott, his opinion
Sean McDermott Stan is at it again.
Skills. I think he could be an asset on our defensive line. So we have Von Miller, who's useless, and we just signed an Olympic gold medal wrestler who's never played football to be on our defensive line.
You should get Tim Tebow as tight end 3 while you're at it.
Cancel the season.
All right, we're out of here, folks. That was all. That's the UFC 302 card. I'm Big Bucks Beta.
Money management. Make that fucking money.
Make that money. Punch them trees. Let's go.